Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Good Time at the Movies. I'm Wyatt. That's JP. And today we're talking about The End of Oak Street, directed by David Robert Mitchell, starring Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor. And it's also the movie that has, I think, my favorite tagline I've seen this year. I don't know if you've seen this, JP.
I don't think I have, yeah.
Four words: Where goes the neighborhood? That's been
Interesting.
that's the
Okay.
tagline. Where goes the neighborhood? It's like a kid watching this movie, just wondering, like, "Hey, Dad, where goes the neighborhood?" Makes me
I
chuckle.
It works. Yeah. Okay.
It fits. So yeah, I saw this yesterday. I believe you saw it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Um, Opening thoughts on the end of Oak Street.
Opening thoughts. How much money did so Mitchell directed it, but this was produced by J.J. Abrams. How much money did J.J. Abrams pay the MPA to keep this PG-13? Because this movie for PG-13 is bloody and violent and tense. And I'm so happy that it's PG-13. Because then kids can see it and they could see dead bodies littered through the streets, gunfire in the background for a solid 40 minutes. Like, this is a violent movie. And if kids, parents take their kids to go see the Dinosaur movie, they're in for a wild ride. I'm kind of digging it.
I didn't realize this was PG-13 until just this moment. I totally thought this was an R-rated film, and that proves your point.
Let me
Because
double
yeah,
check. Yeah.
there's some. No, you're right. I'm looking at it right now. It's PG-13.
Yep.
Um, I guess I never connected the dots. I thought it was rated R, and I saw the movie, and I was like, yeah, that probably should be rated R, and I'm glad it's not. There is. Am I thinking of something else? Or is there like one F bomb later on? They use their
There's one.
one.
Yeah, they used their
Okay,
one.
yeah, they use their one. Yeah, no, End of Oak Street is a movie that you've been putting on my radar more than anything else. I haven't really seen much about it up until this week leading up to it. And I had a very pleasant time with this film. I
Yeah.
really did. And I was yeah, I just it was a fun ride, and like you said, it being PG-13, it feels more bring the family, have a fun time at the movies. And yeah, there's some gore, there's some action, there's some family drama, some emotional beats that could work for a lot of people. Whether it works for everyone, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those movies that just it feels kind of rare these days where hey, bring everybody and you can kind of recommend this to any type of moviegoer and they can maybe find something they like here and just universally like vague enough to just kind of encapsulate a lot of different demographics. So a lot of this movie worked for me, and we'll get into specifics as we move through this. But I think first and foremost, I just want to start off with Anne Hathaway
Anne
because
Hathaway's good in this. Oh my gosh.
she's really good in this
Yeah.
movie. She's been great all year. She's operating. It's almost like she is somehow found a next level to her career in terms of like she's combining how good she is as an actress, also now the superstardom that she has as a movie star. It feels like it's finally being actualized this year. We're like, oh, I have a little agency where I can maybe pick my movies. I can do Devil Wears Prada 2. I can make Mother Mary, see what that's all about. And we're just having like a Anne Hathaway moment right now. And I'm glad people are appreciating her because even in this, where this movie isn't perfect, she is operating at an incredibly high level. And I think it almost works against the movie where, like, I don't know if anyone else is operating at that level.
So, 2 things. I don't think this is, like, the peak of her career. I think, like, Les Mis and Devil Wears Prada, like, that era of her is still the best for her.
As an actor, maybe.
I
I
mean,
think
but
I think
her
now it's
being
a
in Les Mis
combination
was a
of
big deal. Her being in Les Mis was a
oh,
big deal. Um, and
okay.
she's not even in it that much. But this movie, she's really good, and this kinda bleeds into, like, one of the funniest points I have about this movie. Ewan McGregor is so poorly cast in this movie.
Thank you.
I think he
Yes.
I think he has just a weird voice, as his normal voice, he has a very distinct voice, and when he does his, like, American accent, it's more like he sands off the fun stuff of his Scottish accent. He doesn't add any Americanisms to it, it's just a bland factory setting voice with his weird pitch. It just sounds off, and then, I don't know, Hugh McGregor wants to ride motorcycles into the sunset. He is an actor, but sometimes it's like, "Man, what are you doing in this movie, my guy?" Like, especially this one, he does not fit in at all, and he's supposed to play like a loser dad that everyone still
Mhm.
likes. He's trying. I don't know. I think a different actor, I don't have one in mind, but I think just another actor could have played the loser better, and then
Mhm.
when he becomes more heroic, when the dinosaurs show up, that delta, I would have felt a lot more versus him, it just felt like the same note the whole time. I think he's
Yeah.
very poorly cast in this movie. My I kept laughing at this. All of the all of the girls in the movie, Anne Hathaway, her daughter, the neighbor, the librarian, they are like they get all the best scenes, they get all the best action
Yeah.
moments, they get really good stuff, and all the dudes in the movie are pathetic losers that deserve to die. It's so funny how like, black and white this movie is on kinda like the gender dynamics of, like, 1980s American suburbia, because their neighbor is a total asshole for, like, no reason. Totally threatening to shoot their dog because he's digging a hole in his yard. That's classic. That is, like, what this film is tackling is we're in this, like, perfect neighborhood, but this like, if you stay for a day with us, you realize it's not actually perfect, it's just pretty. No one actually is friends, and once shit hits the fan, it's every man for themselves. And so I like that they're doing that, but the fact that the son with the bow and arrow, the funniest running gag, he doesn't hit
So
a
bad.
single thing, and the sound effect when he's, like, stuck in the garage and the Allosaurus is, like, fully breaching the door and moving the car away, and the kid is like, "Oh god," and, like, the dinosaur is basically covering the entire garage. If he just lets loose, it will hit the dinosaur, and he does, and it goes right past the head and hits the wall, and it just goes, "Dunk." It's the funniest sound effect in the
Yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah. Well, the only
Oh
thing
my
he
gosh.
does hit is the giant, like, snake water monster thing that's right in front of him. And, like, it takes up literally the entire doorway. So it's like, of course he can hit it. It's a foot in front
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It saves, but that's
Oh my
his,
gosh.
like, hero moment. You're right. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we agree on that in terms of, I was going to point out that obviously Anne Hathaway, phenomenal. Ewan McGregor, just like, I I thought I hated his performance halfway through the movie. A moment happens about 2/3 of the way through the movie
Mhm.
that weirdly hit me emotionally, and I was like, "Wait a second." In
Yep.
retrospect, did I like this character at this point, which we'll talk about?
I
But
think he
with
wins
two
you
chill,
over time, but
yeah,
I think a better
it
actor
took a
would've
while.
a different actor, not a better actor, a different actor. I just think this is not his movie. A different
Yeah,
actor would have understood this role more, and done a way bigger impact on it. Yeah.
yeah, and I do. So the two children, Brian and Audrey, I had the exact same note where, like, the Brian character, as we just mentioned, just feels very, I don't know if it's underwritten or just, you're right, doesn't have much to work with. Where
He's like the butt of
all
the
he think,
joke. He's the butt
yeah,
of the
he's a
joke, but the
bully. First of all,
yes,
go
the
ahead.
bully is
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, he's the bully. Think about, all we know.
Yeah.
He threw a stick at this kid's tire, broke his arm, and then his brother's trying to defend him in there. And then they asked him why he did it. He's like, I don't know, I just did it. And then the whole
Yeah.
time he just wants a girlfriend, and
Yeah.
he's just he's a loser. He's the
Yeah,
whole time.
he's kind of a brat. I do like that. I also love the bully chasing him through the neighborhood. while pedaling on a bicycle. It's the most, like, pathetic, scary bully scene I've ever seen, very intentionally so. Like, I think the where the camera is positioned, you're not looking at his face, you're looking at his little feet going, "Ee-er, ee-er, ee-er," and he's like, "I'm gonna get your ass." It's so funny. I
Yeah,
think a lot of the jokes in this movie really land because they're very physical, they're very visually oriented. And then I'm still thinking about the scene of the daughter in the car in the garage. She, like, turns on the car to listen to the song,
yeah,
and I'm thinking, "Oh, there's gonna be a dinosaur in the garage, it's gonna sneak up on her, it's gonna be a whole scene." No, we sit with her
no,
in the moment, and then once the moment's over, we move on. I'm like, "That this movie's only, what, like, 90 minutes? Perfect length for a
yeah,
dinosaur movie."
yeah,
The fact that they took the time to say, "No, we're gonna commit to this character for this scene, only for the character. It's not gonna move the plot, it's not gonna have, a scare, it's not gonna have a set piece, it's just gonna be for her." You're dedicating a lot of time to the 4th most important character. It's very interesting that scene, the priorities that they're doing, and then I think immediately after we get into, Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor arguing, and it's like, "Oh, yes, the domestic conflict of the movie," which I think is well done. It's very interesting. I love the whole subplot of Anne Hathaway being a writer in secret. Her family does not know that she is a writer, and when the basement floods, that shot of her closing the door because all of her work is down there and it is gone. That shot of her closing the door, like, accepting that that part of her is basically dead is
mhm,
fantastic. It's mostly Anne Hathaway's performance, but it is the camera staying with her while the dinosaur stuff is happening in the background. She is, like, stuck in that moment of the
yeah,
true me that my family will never know is no more. That shot
mhm,
is so good, and the fact that the movie does that, sprinkled throughout, but mostly only for the girl characters, is
yeah,
very interesting. I really had a blast with how
yeah.
they did the dynamic of the family.
Yeah, and in that moment, because like she's a character who you get the sense is has almost one foot out the door, and she talks about it in her
Yeah,
writing, like she wants to leave, and so she's closing that door while they are physically locking themselves in to their home with her family. So it's like,
yeah,
oh wow, that's really well done.
yeah,
Um, One thing I was thinking about during this movie, especially as we're kind of harping on the fact that the female characters are the star of this movie.
yes, yeah.
I recently saw for the first time the original Twister. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I've seen scenes. I should
Okay.
watch it, but yeah, I've seen bits and
If
pieces.
you watched, I watched that movie for the first time. In the entire movie, I'm thinking, why is Bill Paxton the main character here? This is Helen Hunt's movie. So you have
Yeah,
these two characters.
yeah,
It's like they focused on the wrong person, and I feel like maybe during that era, the 80s, 90s, it was like more. They would always lean towards the male characters as the protagonist, as the leading man. Helen Hunt's the star of this movie and of that movie. And I was thinking the same thing here. I'm glad they actually focused on this is Anne Hathaway's movie.
yeah, yeah.
And so
This
that
is
was really
her movie. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was really good. Um Before we get into like the nitty-gritty details of what actually happened in this movie, I want to talk a little bit about the what's it called, that type of shot that this guy does, the split diopter
Oh, split
shot.
diopter. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So there's the one scene pretty early on, the family sitting around the living room talking about like, hey, we just got placed in dinosaur hell. What are we gonna do about it? And they're talking about like, oh, we got to find a way out, or this is our new normal. And you have those opposing forces of
Yeah, yeah,
optimism versus like pragmatism, like, hey, we gotta just live in the now.
yeah, yeah.
What did you think about this? Because I have some thoughts on the use of that shot.
So in terms of, like, the visuals of this movie, I don't know because I think the theater I was in first off, I went Friday night, packed theater,
Oh,
made the movie way better. People were cheering. It was
I'm sure.
awesome. Um, I think the bulb in the projector of my theater needs to be replaced. The AMC I go to, I know the different theaters have different problems because the projectors are so old. This is where we are post-COVID.
Yeah.
Movie theaters are still in debt. They're, like, in the hole, so they can't replace the seats or the screens or the projectors. It's just where we are right now. I think the bulb was dim, so the lighting was not like, the highlights were not that bright in the screening I went to, so I don't really know the lighting and the color when I was watching the trailers, that, like, green MPA logo before every trailer is a very specific green.
Yeah.
Not in this theater, it was a little blue, and so I thought, "Shit, okay, this movie's gonna be real blue, and that's not intentional." So, in terms of, like, the lighting and the visuals of this movie, I can't tell what it's supposed to look like because my projector was bad. The split diopter shot does stand out. I agree. It's quite jarring. I love split diopter shots. If anyone is a fan of like Brian De Palma and early Spielberg, this is very much a Spielberg homage movie. Split diopters are used all the time. There's a shot in Jaws, there's a shot in the first Mission Impossible movie. If anyone wants to watch a Brian De Palma movie, Blowout is fucking fantastic, and half that movie's split diopter. It's incredible. To do it, like, today, some TV shows do it, especially if they're like a spy thriller, but it's usually actor in the background, object in the foreground, like keys on a desk or a gun, or in the Mission Impossible movie, the guy has, like, the rope in the vent holding up Tom Cruise, and then a rat is sneaking up to him, so it works for those. To have, like, one actor in the background and then the other actor, like this, it's quite jarring as a visual.
Yeah.
I appreciate them doing it. I think there was a better use of it when Anne Hathaway is at the editor's house, the old lady that edited her husband's books, and, like, they're sitting looking at each other, and there's, like, window curtains behind them, but then the window
Yeah.
in between them is showing the neighborhood party. It works there. I like that.
Yes.
When they're doing it with the family, it's jarring, so but it's a very unorthodox visual to choose to use, so no matter what, it will stand out, but you're right, it's like, why did they choose to do it so loudly for those shots? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. I agree it worked with that Anne Hathaway window shot. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is cool. I see what the camera is trying to tell me here." When
Yes.
they were
Yep.
sitting around in that circle, dude, I thought it sucked. I hated it so much, I'll be honest. Like I
So
really it pissed me off because here's the thing. If they do it once or twice maybe, they kept spamming it over and over again. I was like, "Oh, there's
for that
another one.
one
They're doing it
scene.
again. They're doing it again." They're
Yeah.
going back and back and back. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know if you ever played those video games with like a skateboard or snowboard where you get a bunch of air and you just spam a bunch of buttons to do cool tricks. You don't really know what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It's like, "Oh, let's just keep spamming this cuz it looks cool." And I was like, I don't think this is working the way that maybe that first Anne Hathaway shot did. But they're like, this looks cool. We're gonna keep doing it,
But
and they just spam that button so much.
it's not like those are different shots. It's the same shot in that scene. Like, they filmed that whole scene with that shot on during their coverage, and they just keep cutting to it. It's the same shot. It's not like they're doing it 50 times in one
But it was
scene. It's the
different
same shot.
people. Like
It's
sometimes it
2
was
different
Ewan
angles.
McGregor.
So, one is Anne Hathaway, and then one of the kids in the background, and the other one is Ewan McGregor and one of the kids in the background. So, I think it's Anne Hathaway and the son, Ewan McGregor and the daughter, which I think it's trying to show the
I
dynamic of the family because
I thought so too, but I think they switch it up. I honestly do, and I'll probably need a rewatch. I think I was thinking the same thing of like, oh, they're showing like, oh, these two are kind of aligned on the way they're thinking about the situation. These two are, but then I think there's one shot where it's switched. I'm like, oh wait, now I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
yeah, because
I
like,
could be wrong. I could be
the
wrong. I need to
daughter
rewatch.
is, like, a scientist, so when
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor's like, "I think God put us here and he'll take us back," I'm pretty sure the daughter's like, "That's bullshit." Like, but the son is I don't know how old the son is supposed to be, but he's like, "Yeah, that makes me feel better, so I'll believe in it." It's like, "Buddy." I can't tell how old the son is supposed to be in this. I'm guessing, like, 7th or 8th grade
I
age.
Yeah, I think he's like 13. Because I think they mentioned he's like, oh, he's already acting out, and they're like, everyone does at
Oh,
13.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
an early
Yeah,
teenager.
yeah.
I want to shout out the actress for the daughter. Her name's
Yes!
Maisie Stella.
She's really
Um,
good.
really, really good. She's
Yeah.
in Mild Ass. If you saw that movie,
She's in what?
um, Mild Ass,
Oh, okay, okay. That was last year, right?
Aubrey Plaza,
I missed that one,
and
yeah.
someone else. I think, yeah. But then she's also going to be in Poetic License, the movie that I'm cautiously
There you
optimistic
go.
about.
There you go,
So I was
okay.
like, okay, I'm gonna buy
Okay.
stock. We'll see how she does. But yeah, I want to give her a shout out 'cause she was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that shot it pissed me off in the movie. Again, there's a lot I liked about this movie. I had a fun time. For some reason, I got mad that I was like, stop doing it. I get it, but
Okay.
that's just a big
Yeah.
thing. But
It
you're right.
takes you out of the scene. Yeah.
It's a jarring look where it's like it's such a fine line of pulling that off, and maybe
Yeah.
they went a little too far, but again, I can appreciate the attempt, I guess, but
Yeah.
it bothered me a little bit. All right, let's get into. We'll now talk about details of the plot, a little more
Well, okay,
storyline. So
so
this will be
let me
spoilers
start
ahead.
with let me start with spoilers ahead, spoilers right now. Let me start with,
Yeah.
my real gripe
Okay.
because, um, the dog is in all of the marketing, he's in the posters and everything, and the dog's really cute at the start. I'm sitting here like, "That dog needs to die. You need to kill this dog." Because the whole movie, it's like, "Oh, Starbucks outside, I gotta go find him," and, like, all this stuff. It's like, we have transported 250,000,000 years into the past. The most successful and powerful apex predators alive are now in your backyard, and your dog is an outside dog, like, doghouse, stake, rope as a leash, that's it. That dog is dead, and the whole movie, like, the neighbors are dying, their bodies in the streets, like, they're watching, pterodactyls eat their asshole neighbor alive. It's like, this movie is committing to being a very dark tone, but the dog is still alive, and the son that's all the son cares about, and I'm like, "This movie needs to kill this dog so fast because I don't give a shit about this dog." That's rare. Most movies,
Come
it's like,
on,
"I like the dog."
Starbuck.
I wanted Starbuck to die so bad. And then I was apparently alone in that thought because in the finale, when Starbuck, like, comes to the rescue, my whole theater cheered. And I was like,
Yeah.
"You know what? Fine, I'm in the wrong. The dog should have died." So, but,
Well, I'll push back on that because you
okay.
said you like that this movie's PG-13. Anne Hathaway has been on the press tour for this movie saying basically confirming this dog doesn't die. So it's not even really a spoiler because she said any movie that kills off a dog should be rated R. So like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either want the
That's
dog dead and it's rated R,
I
or you're
I
disagreeing with
will
Anne Hathaway, and I don't think you want to die on that hill.
well, Anne Hathaway is with the people. I am not. There's there's this
I want that
dumb
on a
sentiment.
shirt.
I there's this dumb sentiment. Like, people look it up online, like, "Does the dog die in this movie?" And it's like, you know what? If you need to do that, fine. I think there's, like, a full-on website that tells you if the dog dies in the movie or not. Most of the time, the dog does die. That's just that's how
Mhm.
uh, narrative fiction right now just tries to explain death to people because if you have a pet, it's going to die in your lifetime and you're going to experience death for the first time through your pet. So, for a movie to talk about death and it has a pet, it's like, all right, well, the pet has to die to thematically explain the impacts of mortality to these characters. The pet has to die. And like the wide mass public to be like, "Oh, if the dog dies, I'm not gonna watch the movie." It's like, "Hey, um, it's not real. I'm glad that you are emotionally connected to this cute little thing in front of the TV. It is an actor. Like, even the dog's an actor." It's just I don't know, the fact that people outright reject a movie, watching a movie because the dog dies, I find ridiculous.
Yeah. It's
I
the
but
Marley and Me factor. Like Marley and Me has a weird lifespan of a movie that's like
yeah.
okay, but you kill off a dog, you're going to be part of the like
Oh,
conversation for a while. So it's like honestly
those
it's a power play.
Marley and Me is the best version of, like, those dead dog movies where the whole point is the dog dies. Like, there's one that
Mhm.
came out, I think, in 2019, like, The Art of Racing in the Rain or something, where Kevin Costner plays, like, this golden retriever. That's one of the worst movies I've
Animated?
No, it's live action. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. There's no conflict. There's no point besides the fact that the dog is going to die. It's one of those movies, and it's
You,
horrible.
I
It's
want to fact check.
awful.
You said Kevin Costner plays a golden retriever in a live action movie.
Yeah, he does, like, the voiceover.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
it's a
Gotcha.
golden retriever. It's a dog actor.
I'm expecting Kevin Costner on all fours in like
No.
Wizard of Oz makeup, and I was like, I have to see this movie right now. I'll end this podcast
Yeah.
right now.
In
I
between
gotta go watch
seasons of Yellowstone, he's like,
this.
"Guys, I have to take 2 months off," and he's, like, getting the yellow makeup already on him and,
Yeah.
like, the Halloween dog nose. No, no, no. He just does the voiceover.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
movie's there's no bad guys, so they have to invent this, like, stuffed animal zebra that's possessed by the devil that is the reason why his master's wife dies of cancer. It's like, I fucking hate this movie. It's so bad. But because the dog dies, people are like, "Oh, I cried. It's the best movie of the year." And I'm like, "You're being you're being manipulated in real time." It's yeah.
No.
Those, like, movies where the
Um.
point is the dog dies, that's the point of the movie. I don't trust those movies. It's like Christian movies. You think I'm an idiot. You treat me like a worm for money. I hate those movies so much. But for this one, the point is dinosaurs. The point is Anne Hathaway. Kill the dog. That's my point.
Fair enough. Hey, fair enough. Kill the dog. um. The overall kind of concept or pitch for this movie, you have this neighborhood that gets basically sent back through time through a some kind of wormhole to
Yeah.
a time of dinosaurs roaming the world. And I what I did enjoy is that they didn't spend too much time trying to like interrogate the worldwide consequences of that
Right.
because they don't
Yeah.
really have time to do that. It's like all of a sudden, hey, there's dinosaurs around. We
Yep.
just got to survive the next 20 minutes. We can't figure out what this means for the rest of the world right now.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I kind of enjoyed the overall concept and how much they didn't really like this wasn't exposition heavy. There was like one
No.
conversation of like, "Hey, we probably got sent through a wormhole. We got to survive." Like
Yeah.
that was it. And sometimes that works with the movie. I think it did here. Sometimes that doesn't, and you like want a little bit more. I don't quite know what that differentiate that factor that makes it work or doesn't work is, but for some reason, this movie I was fine with kind of a lack of exposition and left with some
Yeah.
questions at the end, which we'll talk about the ending. But I think the overall concept works for me. Um,
I think
the
so
dinosaurs looked pretty cool too. Sorry, go ahead.
dinosaurs how the dinosaurs look, I'll get to later, but, this being a Bad Robot J.J. Abrams movie, there was kind of the rumor going around that this either was supposed to be or was originally, part of the Cloverfield multiverse franchise. Because the first
Mhm.
Cloverfield movie comes out, and then 10 Cloverfield Lane comes out in, like, 2016? I don't know. And that was very much a script that people liked, but couldn't get funding for, and J.J. Abrams picked up that script, changed the ending to make it a Cloverfield movie, and then they made it. So the first, like, 90% of 10 Cloverfield Lane is fantastic, people stuck in a bunker, not knowing what's happening above them as the world is ending, and then the last 10% is, "Oh, yeah, by the way, it's a Cloverfield movie." And so it's like, "Alright, you took a good script, kind of messed up the ending, but the rest of the movie is great, so I guess I'll like it." And then Cloverfield Paradox, which was a Netflix movie, was dog shit, was another, like, interesting sci-fi concept that they took the script, rewrote it to hell and turned it into a Cloverfield movie at literally the last second, which is why it's so bad. Um, so that's what and, there's, like, a Nazi zombies movie, I think Overlord is what it's called, that was also theorized to almost be a Cloverfield movie as well. So what J.J. Abrams did is he would take scripts that people liked and produce them, but produce them under the Cloverfield franchise to get it greenlit.
Hmm.
That only worked for, like, 2 movies, and then he stopped doing it, but he still had all these scripts is the theory. He still had Overlord and he
Gotcha.
still had End of Oak Street. And so he's like, "I'm just gonna make them as is, thank God." So that whole, like, sci-fi it feels almost like a Twilight Zone episode of they're blipped in, no time to explain, survive, and then blipped back because it feels like a TV episode. The fact that they come
Yeah.
back very quickly and just go, "Alright, conflict done." It like a bottled up movie. Again, 90
Yeah.
minutes, perfect runtime. I think it
And
works great.
like because
Yeah.
100%, and because it's J.J. Abrams, it felt like a season of Lost all wrapped up in a 90 to 100-minute
Yeah.
movie.
It's that
Where it's like you have this mystery,
mystery.
this kind of
Yes.
Twilight Zone type, what's
Yep.
happening here, and you just kind of solve it and wrap it up. It's like that could be you could easily
Yes.
stretch something like this out over like a mini series or a full season of like
Right,
normal television, but
right.
you didn't have to. And like you said, I appreciate them doing this in under 100 minutes, and the pace was great, and I
Yes.
enjoyed that.
It's very consumable, it's very entertaining. So, I think a lot of behind the scenes decisions were made, and I think we got the best version of this movie that could have happened. And now people are saying it's, like, the best dinosaur movie since Jurassic Park in '94, and it's like, I '93. I kinda agree. I think this is, like, the best dinosaur movie. I like Primitive War, came out last year. I think this is a way better movie than Primitive War. If you wanna watch soldiers firing, M16s at a T-Rex, that's Primitive War. If you wanna watch, like, a good movie and then dinosaurs are in it, this is this is that.
Okay. Um, do you can we talk about Ewan McGregor's fate in this movie for a second?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the character's name's Greg. Like you said, he's kind of this down on his luck, just got fired, laid off. He's delivering pizzas, little small town dad trying to figure it out and like lying to his wife about being laid off because he's embarrassed and wants to
Yeah.
make ends meet. And you're as I said before, halfway through this movie, I was like, I really am not digging this performance. And it's probably
Mm-mm.
should have be probably a miscasting. But then he has a tiny little hero moment. He saves his wife, and he gets eaten pretty brutally by this dinosaur.
Brutally
And
indeed, yeah.
I I had such an emotional reaction to it. My hands went to my head, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they just did that." And I was
Yeah,
thinking like, I need some more stakes here. Like, is this whole family just
yeah,
gonna be okay through
yeah,
this? Like you said, maybe it should have been the dog, but I couldn't believe they went there for a second. I was like, "Wait a second. They just killed off a character that I thought I hated, but now I'm
yep,
reacting and, like, maybe I'm being manipulated here to, like, now in retrospect, like that performance, which I don't think I did, but
yeah,
having that moment, I was like, "Wait a second. I missed that character. Like, how are they gonna how am I gonna handle this the rest of the movie?" And I think the moments right after that are some of the best where I mean, Anne Hathaway is incredible in that next scene as they're
yeah,
just walking and she's shell shocked and just
yeah.
she's lost it all and she's snapped. And she's so good there. I think the kids are great. That's probably the best moment from the son
The
there
son yeah,
because
that's
he's
his best
just
scene. Yeah, yeah,
for sure. And yeah, no, I think that moment I was like shocked and maybe rethink what I thought about that performance a little more. I don't know what your perspective on that was.
very, very similar with you because I was very surprised that scene kept going. again, it's a PG-13 movie, and, like, he gets his leg chopped off. I'm like, "Oh, it's just the leg." They'll,
Yeah.
like, carry him out or something. There'll be, like, a tourniquet scene or something, and then it slams him into the ground, and I'm like, "His spine is gone." Like, there's no recovering from that, and then it chomps down on him. I'm like, "Oh, he is dead on the spot." And then Anne Hathaway's just watching it happen. I was like, "That is an intense scene in a PG-13
Yeah.
movie," and I think there's not a lot of blood in that scene. I think that's the only reason this movie is PG-13. The second you put an ounce more blood in that shot of him without a leg, that's when this becomes rated R,
Mhm.
because that is a rough death for a, family movie. And
And
then
it's pretty quiet too. Like, there's not a lot of sound or, like, background music to, like, drum up this
right.
moment. It's
Yeah.
kind of cold,
Yeah.
and you feel that. So, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. It's like, okay, this character finally has his moment. He swings the sledgehammer and knocks
Mhm.
out the Allosaurus, and then it falls on the ground kinda like a cartoon character, so I was like, "Oh, okay." I
Did he just
think that
knock out this dinosaur?
I
Yeah.
think that adds to the surprise. I feel like that's part of the design of the scene is he knocks it out, it falls to the ground, and it's like, "Okay, is this like the Flintstones? Come on." And then he
Yeah.
climbs the fence and it grabs him. It's like, "Oh, nope, we went from Flintstones to Jurassic Park. Okay."
Yeah.
That scene is where the movie really kinda shows its strengths on all levels.
Mhm.
Because it's a great dinosaur scene, and it's a great shock and suspense scene where the, emotional stuff is happening in the foreground, but the horrors, the dinosaurs are in the background, and we see it and the characters don't. The movie does that several times very well. Maybe too many times, but every scene with, like, the snake going through the window and all that stuff is really well done in terms of the timing and the suspense,
Mhm.
and that scene has just all of it all at once. It's
Yeah.
very well done.
Uh, so then after that, you have this family just kind of, again, grappling with what they just witnessed. But we also have another character, which we haven't mentioned yet, Jeanette, who
The Neighbor.
is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the neighbor, new kid who Brian decides he's in love with.
Yeah.
Wrong choice there, buddy. Uh, so Jeanette lost both her parents in this
Yes.
dinosaur rampage. So she joins this family. They kind of adopt her, and then her and Audrey kind of connect romantically slowly
Yes.
throughout the movie. And you
Yes.
see that,
Yeah.
and I did kind of like that scene where Brian was looking in on them, like Jeanette was
Mhm.
comforting Audrey in the moment, and that
Yeah.
you connect the dots there, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I just sappy me, but so you have these four people now trying to figure out how do we get out of here.
Yeah.
So, which is it's kind of funny because that was Ewan McGregor's character's whole point of like, hey, let's find a way out of here. Let's do this rather than like let's just survive. Now you have that group without him finding a way out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was interesting, but they had this glowing bubble that was reappearing and appearing throughout the neighborhood that you can
Yeah.
jump into. To which is kind of very silly, but
It's
I
kinda
don't
silly,
know.
but it leads to one of my favorite moments in the movie where they're trying to time it, and they have the sun go first, and the sun screws up the timing. He jumps too late. Bubble disappears. He falls like 2.5 stories and completely snaps his leg. Once that happened, I was like, this movie knows exactly what it's doing, and I'm having the time of my life. I've never,
But
like,
this
laughed
poor
harder
kid,
at a kid breaking his leg in ever. I've never laughed harder. But then,
the
of
kid
course, the
couldn't do
dog comes to the
anything.
rescue, and it's like, "Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay." But the fact that,
I
like
had forgotten about Starbuck at that point. Yeah,
yeah, but the fact that, like, I'm in a packed theater and I'm cheering at different moments, like, the kid breaks his leg, and a lot of people are like, I'm over there like, "Yes!" And then the dog shows up, and everyone else is like, "Woo!" And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah.
okay."
Like First of all, kid, it's so easy to time.
I know, it's so easy. Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, "You have 5 seconds to just jump, dude." Like, seriously, you
Yeah.
gotta jump. It's so easy, and I don't know why it was coming in and out at that interval, like, that's never really explained why it's just
Nope. It's not
clipping, and
explained
who
at
cares?
all.
It's
Yeah.
like, we gotta make this a moving target somehow for them. It can't be that
Yes.
easy just to
Yeah, yeah,
jump
yeah.
into a bubble.
Yeah.
So they do that. Well, the Jeanette just like, "Hey, see y'all. I don't really know you. I'm gonna go back," and just jumps in first. So then you're stuck
Wait,
with the
what
original family.
what does she say to the daughter? She's
Is it just
like,
like find me on the other side or something?
"Yeah," it's like, I'll see you on the other side," and then she goes, "Oh god," and then she just jumps in.
Yeah. Times it perfectly.
Yeah,
Just
that was great. Yeah, okay, so 2 things. Before we, like, talk about the ending,
the ending. Okay.
the design of the dinosaurs, they have feathers, which is, like the Jurassic Park franchise, they're using, what we thought dinosaurs looked like 30 years ago. And they kind of actively admit it, especially in the Jurassic World movies, where they're like, "Look, these dinosaurs are not accurate recreations. We make them to sell tickets so they look like the old versions. We have not updated the DNA, or we've changed them to have bigger teeth to sell more tickets." That's like the one cool thing that Jurassic World does, where they fully admit these are not accurate dinosaurs. And then Dominion is like, "Oh, we have fully accurate dinosaurs now." It's like, "When? Why?" Whatever. Um, this movie, the dinosaurs have feathers, which is super interesting. I think a lot of them are, like, updated versions to be scientifically accurate because they go back in time. So, they should be as accurate as possible because they're not mutations, they're
Mhm.
not man-made, they are in the world that they existed in, we have gone to their world. And then there's, like, I don't know if there's, like, a if it's, like, Brontosaurus or I don't know, those, like, big long neck ones. They have fur too, and I'm sitting there like, "That's dumb." They're so big, they can create their own body heat. Why the hell do they need feathers? What are we doing here? I only know, like, surface level dinosaur stuff, but I don't know. They're like, T-Rex didn't have feathers because he was so big, he didn't need feathers to keep body heat. And then we have these, like, long necks over here that look like woolly mammoths. What the fuck are we doing? I don't know. And the design of the feathers, because they're not like feathers, they're like proto feathers, so they're more hair than feather. They're very patchy, especially on the Allosaurus. I like the design of the Allosaurus because it's clear he's eaten half the neighborhood. He is full of bullet holes. Like, Anne Hathaway shoots him in the leg, that's not the only bullet hole in that dinosaur. When he's chasing other families in the background, he has, like, 5 across both sides. It's really cool, but his feathers are kind of like, I don't know, he looks more like a baby owl than a shark on land kinda thing. Like, they want you to
Yeah.
think he's Jaws, and I'm just thinking, like, "Are those feathers coming off? What are we doing?" So, I think that the design of some of the dinosaurs is a little bleh.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones are very well done. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
what species are, but the fact that, like, we kept getting a lot of them, like, there's just a random scene where it's like, there's a shit ton of tortoises in the road. Here's a
Yeah, that was fun.
Spinosaurus. There's always a Stegosaurus in the background. They never encounter a Stegosaurus. It's just always in the background. There's, like, an Ankylosaurus. They're all just hanging out. I think it's great. There is, like, really cool suspense in this movie. Like, Ewan McGregor opens the window because the house is vibrating, and he opens the window and he shines a flashlight, and we don't even see what the thing is. It's just a wall of feathers
Yeah.
scraping against the window. I was like, "That shit is so cool." And just all those, like, little things of, like, you don't even see all the stuff that's there. I like that a lot. And, of course, the star of the show is that, like, white snake that crawls through the window. and it gets down to the kitchen, and it's about to bite Anne Hathaway, and we cut back to the window, and it's still coming in, like, this thing is a mile long. That's really good
Yeah.
filmmaking to show it go through the whole house, and then to go back to how it got in, and it's still coming in. That is really good, and it got the whole theater. Everyone's like, "Oh, shit, this thing is huge."
Yeah.
That that's a lot of fun. Alright, now we could go to the ending where they jump through
Yeah.
the bubble and they land
Yes.
in some woman's pool, and it's 1982.
Two, I think, July
Yeah.
11th, I think, but
So
it's right before
it's like
the
30
swap
minutes
happens.
before it's 30 minutes before the neighborhood gets blipped to the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anne Hathaway makes a call, and then we see the pizza sign crest the hill.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet because they kept using that pizza sign on the car to basically symbolize the dad's failure. Like, he is a
Yeah.
loser because this thing is on his
It's an
car.
embarrassment
It's an
symbol. Yeah.
embarrassment. He has to take it off after every shift and hide it in the garage so that she doesn't see it. Even when they're
But
driving through
it's
the
more so
neighborhood.
it's like it's almost like he's not embarrassed by it. She is.
Yeah, it's to
Yeah.
protect her from seeing it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that when they're driving through the neighborhood during all the dinosaur stuff, they don't use his car. They use her car. Like, I love that, like, the world is ending. We gotta get out of here.
Mhm.
Which car do we use? I just imagine Anne Hathaway is like, "We're not using your dumb car with that
Yeah.
stupid pizza thing. We're using my car."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I so the pizza crests the hill, and he's delivering to the house that I feel like it's the same house he was delivering to at the start of the movie when it starts to
Oh,
rain.
yeah.
It looks like the same shot, and then they interrupt him. Um, this is when the time travel gets really wonky. So
Yeah.
they prevent him from going back home, which did not happen at the start of the movie. Even though I think that's the
Mhm.
same house that he delivered to before they went back. They stop him from going back. Um, the neighbor, she goes to save her parents, and then we cut back. Okay, so this is also why the dog can't die. Neighborhood blips to the past. It's a bright white light. What is the frame that we land on with the light? It's the whole family and the dog. It is the quintessential American dream nuclear family, husband, wife, daughter, son, dog, witnessing their dream, the American dream, the suburban like fantasy be ripped away from them in the 80s. Like, that is kind of the subtextual image going on with that. So you need the whole nuclear family, including the
Mhm.
dog and the husband, to witness this for that image to land thematically. So that's why the dog has to live. And I'm like, fine, whatever. The dog still should have died. Um, and then we cut to 2 years later with like a TV
Mhm.
recap,
TV.
which
Yeah.
very efficient. I love when movies do it because it's like, you know what? We have 30 seconds. It's a news broadcast. Cool. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Um, Anne Hathaway has become an author. She has successfully written a book. It's about the end of Oak Street. She's basically written the movie that we've seen, um,
Mhm.
but based on a true story, as the book says. And apparently, it's enough. Well, she's become kind of the celebrity face of this event because not only did she call the pizza company to save her husband, she called all of her neighbors, even the ones she didn't like, and told them to get out of range. And the fact that they all listened to her, I'm like, I don't know about that. And
Yeah.
the fact that no one, all the people we saw die are now no longer dead. I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
sure. It's a PG-13 movie, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And then apparently because she's become the face of this event, has enough money that I'm guessing Hugh McGregor does not have a job still. I think he has become the stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Very, like, post-COVID, everyone lives at home. Well, except the daughter who goes to, like, Cornell or something.
Cornell.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To take, Carl Sagan's class, and then they
Yeah.
go to the backyard to have a barbecue. This is the scariest shit in the movie, and they don't even address it. The neighbor girl is dating the daughter, and then the neighbor girl's
So,
family shows up. This is the last shot of the movie, and it's in the
yep.
background. Last shot of the movie, the neighbor girl's parents show up with her as well. There's 2 of them. That is terrifying. That's its own movie.
Crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
the movie just does not even really it shows it, but it doesn't exactly
Yeah.
address it. I that would be
Yeah.
terrifying if I'm at home with my family, like my wife and my daughter, and then my daughter comes through the front door bloody, damaged, like, with bandages and scratches, and
Yeah.
it has a limp, and she says, "We need to leave." That's terrifying, and then there's 2 of you. It's not like, "Oh, they're twins." No, they are the exact same person,
Hmm.
minus one had the most traumatic 3 or 4 days you could ever have, and that's the only thing that's different about them. That is terrifying. What
Yeah.
what do you do as a family? How do
Yeah.
you process that?
The and the
It's
best thing is
crazy.
the movie, the way they handle it basically says like you can interrogate that if you want, or you can just choose to kind of ignore that.
Right,
Like at the
because,
way
like
it's in the background, it's like, hey, we're not gonna talk about it. You can if you want later as you leave the movie and
yes.
like have those
Yeah.
conversations. But we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to let
Yeah.
you sit with it if you want. You can choose. There's a way to watch this movie, not even care about that. Just be like, oh, that was fun. Cool.
Right. Right.
But you're right. It is kind of
It's
terrifying to like start to unpack the even the morality of some of what Anne Hathaway did of like playing God, choosing who survives, who doesn't.
well,
She
but she called
handpicked,
everybody. Even the neighbor she didn't like, she called him. She
but
saved even the
there's more than
asshole.
those people
I
in that
think she
neighborhood.
I think she called all the phone numbers that she
You think
knew.
they called every single person?
I think so. I think she called every phone number that she knew. The
Oh,
librarian's
that she
alive,
knew.
the old woman's alive, the jackass neighbor is alive, like,
Yeah. But if like
everyone
my
that
mom,
we
say
know.
my mom lived in that neighborhood and she died, I'd be like, hey, Ann, why didn't you call her, asshole? Like,
And
what?
then
Who gave you the right to play
Ant's like,
God?
She never gave me her phone number, so I never knew it.
Yeah.
We never talked."
Yeah. That's your mom's fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, well, because the only time they try to have that kind of deeper conversation, I think the daughter says it as they're looking out, realizing, hey, we still have some time left. She looks out almost at their home and says, wait, are we down there?
Yes.
Because they're in
That
the
again,
past. That's the only time they address
that's
that of like, wait a
terrifying.
second.
They're killing
It's like
themselves.
they're
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. But
I
then
it's
but not Ewan McGregor's character because there's only one of him
There's
because
only
he gets
one of
out.
him, so we get to keep him. You 3 get to go fuck yourselves. Just, like,
Yeah.
go get eaten.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
It's
The more you think about
crazy.
it, you can talk yourself into a loop of all the possibilities, but I'm
'Cause
glad they handled it the way they did because if they
yeah,
tried to wrap it all up, I think it would have got really messy.
it would've gotten really messy. I just imagine you're the neighbor, you're the girl, and the other version of you is dating the daughter that's going to Cornell.
Yeah.
What if you start having a crush on her? What are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
They're the same
You're
person. Of course
already
she would.
dating her, you're jealous of yourself? It's wild. 'Cause now you're
Yeah.
hanging out with the 2 of them the whole time. It's that's oh, that's so weird. That's so weird.
You, you
Uh,
you think Brian's character is like, I got another shot. Like I could try
100%,
this
but,
again.
like, it's still the same person, so she's gonna say no again, like, yeah,
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 but
yeah.
Brian's an idiot and he can't do
Yeah, yeah.
anything right. He's like perfect. One for you, one for me. Let's go.
Yeah.
God. Oh man. Okay. Anything else with this movie? I feel like again we both had a fun experience with it. It's not doing great at the box office,
Yeah, it's not. Well,
unfortunately.
I mean, we got Spider-Man breaking every record. We have
Mhm.
Odyssey being the most
Odyssey's still
successful
chugging along.
IMAX movie ever. This movie was just trampled. And the fact that another dinosaur movie came out this weekend with Paw Patrol, both of them made almost the exact same amount of money, is kind of crazy. Like, oh, if you have like a 5-year-old, you're gonna go see the Paw Patrol movie. But if you have like a 10-year-old that still likes dinosaurs, you're gonna go see this. I don't know.
Are you
I
a
this movie is
10-year-old?
so this movie is so up my wheelhouse. I was the dinosaur kid growing up.
Okay.
I would have
Okay.
eaten this movie up immediately. Yeah. I grew
Gotcha.
up,
Fair
like,
enough.
with all those dinosaur shows. This movie is exactly what I need, which is why I'm sitting here like, "Those feathers look weird."
Yeah.
Like
Which I'm like, I was like, oh, dinosaurs look cool, sick. Like I didn't
yeah,
think twice about it. Like the only time I realize I notice the dinosaurs are if they look bad, and if they look fine, I'm not going to interrogate that anymore.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
just where my brain is.
yeah.
All right, we can kind of leave it at that. My big question for you now, JP, is when are you going to see Tony?
I don't know, I have a busy weekend. I'll try to see it Friday.
Dude, okay, I'm seeing it again tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
wait.
Well,
I
s
mean, listen, I'm going to see this movie probably 4 times in
Tony
theaters.
comes out, I think Camp My Asthma comes out, right? No, I think that's another week, son of a bitch. Um, yeah, we'll see. So,
Tony over the camp.
are we gonna do the halfway through the year video at the end of August?
Yes. I
Okay.
was the plan was post Tony. If you want to wait for Camp Kiss My Ass, we can. Um,
I think that is so well, no, because I mean, it's a horror movie, so it's like, "Oh, well, fall season," but it's a slasher movie, and slashers are summer. I don't let's end it with Tony. Let's end it with Tony.
okay. So we'll
I'll
do
play fair. Yeah.
we can record both next week. If you're able to see Tony this weekend, we'll do Tony and then we'll do our little mid-year bit and we'll plan that out. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that.
I'm
I
excited for
think we're
that.
gonna have some fun conversations. I think it's been a very fun year and we could go a lot of different ways with it. So
Yeah.
sweet. That'll be fun. Thank you everyone for listening and we'll see you then.